Social activism has always been present in sports. Since the early 1900s, with athletes like Jack Johnson becoming the first black heavyweight boxing champion in the world and sparking riots, to earlier this year at the Paris Olympics, when Manisa Talash, a breaker, was disqualified for displaying a political slogan on her attire. As long as athletes have been in the spotlight, they've used their platforms to campaign for what they believe in. In August of 2016, Colin Kaepernick became one of the most well-known athlete activists in the 21st century. Kaepernick, a former NFL player for the San Francisco 49ers, refused to stand for the national anthem. The action was taken in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, Kaepernick stating that the U.S. oppresses Black people and people of color. Athletes in other fields also began kneeling to show support, such as Megan Rapinoe, a former American soccer player. Last year, NHL player Travis Dermott defied the league by using pride tape on his stick, despite the NHL having banned athletes using colored stick tape to represent causes. The ban was quickly reversed, with the league making a statement that all players will now have the option to voluntarily represent social causes with their stick tape throughout the season. Despite the long history of social justice in sports, it continues to be a polarizing topic amongst many. Some leading figures in the sports world believe that sports should be kept isolated from activism, like FIFA President Gianni Infantino stating that politics should stay out of football and football should stay out of politics in 2018. Others, like NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, have publicly apologized for former statements made against Kaepernick and have since encouraged athletes to protest peacefully.
Well, the first thing I'd say is I wish we had listened earlier, Cap, to what you were kneeling about and what you were trying to bring attention to.
We went out and asked some fans how they feel about the topic.
Because a lot of young people look up to them, right? And they wouldn't know about these issues otherwise. So I think it's really good. I think it's not good that they get the backlash, but also I think even the backlash, it causes people that do support them to increase their support, to back them up. So in that sense, there's a good element to it, but overall, we should support them, right? That's my opinion.
I think athletes draw in a lot of people that wouldn't necessarily see that type of thing. Like, first one comes to mind is Ilona Maher, but then she'll talk about issues, especially with women in sports and stuff, and representation, and they see her because she's funny, she's a social media platform, but then they wouldn't necessarily see those issues, so they bring them to light. I think it makes them look human, especially high-level athletes sometimes look a little inhuman with how insane their skills are. We're in the same world, right? And they're speaking about issues that need to be spoken about, makes them look like a stronger human being.
Attention on the WNBA skyrocketed after Caitlin Clark, drawing attention to women's basketball in an unprecedented way. However, many have used Clark, a straight white woman, as a means of targeting other WNBA athletes, a majority of which are Black and over a quarter of which are LGBTQ. This year's Paris Olympics made headlines for being the first games with an equal number of male and female athletes participating.
This is French basketball player Salimata Silla. French athletes like her can't compete in the Paris 2024 Summer Olympics. The reason? She wears a hijab.
There were also many instances of controversy, such as the French team's stance against religious symbols that led to sprinter Sunkamba Sila being barred from participating in the opening ceremony due to her hijab. Sports Illustrated named their 2020 Sportsperson of the Year the activist athlete.
Sports and social activism have been tied together for a long time. Many athletes today are considered activists in their own right. Athletes who speak out are still facing criticism, backlash, and even losing their jobs. While the athletes fighting for social justice is on the rise, it comes at a cost. However, people everywhere, not just in sports, should stand up for what they believe in. I'm Amanda Ruggiero for Sheridan Sports.